Happy effing Friday, everybody. Imagine hitting rock bottom, living with your brother in the trunk of a Tesla, and then rebuilding everything on faith with people as your purpose. Matt Starobykhovskiy walked me through his story of ego to empathy. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. I've got Matthew Starobykhovskiy with me today. He's a big guy in the SubTo and Owners Club community, and I'm super excited to have you today, Matt. Thanks for joining me. Why don't you give the folks some of your background? Where'd you come from? How'd you end up in this world?
Yeah. Well, first, brother, I appreciate the opportunity to have this platform and to share with your audience a little bit about my story. It's an honor and a pleasure, and I'm really excited about this next few months of life and more so what the upcoming year will hold. My story is an interesting one, brother. I'm a first generation English speaker. It was my second language, actually. I'm natively Russian. You could probably tell by the extremely long last name that you said really well, by the way. um, I'm a first generation college grad, first generation entrepreneur, first generation
Awesome.
everything. And I'm very blessed that my parents moved from Moscow. My mom was pregnant with me on the way to the States, and they made a judgment call to come to
Wow.
California. Yeah. And that was the largest blessing ever. And from that point on of birth, I recognize the responsibility I have to my parents. They're both working class. My dad works in like a freezer packing stuff. My mom is a preschool teacher. And being an entrepreneur, being all the things, makes you a black cat, black sheep, all the black things. So I've been that pretty much most of my life. When you're raised in an immigrant family, go to school, get a good degree, get a job, do the thing. And I was on that path. Um, Graduated, so I went to college for biochem. I was a pre-med major. Um, and my second year in college, I went through a personal transformation. I went from a 300-pound, morbidly obese, near-death young man to, bro, it was a ride, to losing
How old were
120.
you?
I was 18, 19 at the time. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I
dude, I
didn't
was
realize
massive.
that.
Yeah. Well, at that time, yeah, I was morbid, and I gained like 50 pounds, like right getting into school, and really hard season. Because of that weight gain, I ended up going to a doctor's appointment. Doctor were like, hey, the reason why I used to wear like really thick glasses. Your vision is because of this. You're hypertensive, pre-diabetic, all the things. So all the indicators that like, hey, you're on a really aggressive downward spiral. So losing weight wasn't I want to be healthy or look good. It was you're going to die if you don't make this decision. And so that sparked a new path for me that led to a passion for health and fitness, nutrition specifically. So I changed majors in college to a nutrition and dietetics major. Um, I got out of the last world that I was in. And when I started to lose weight, everybody around me was like, dude, oh my gosh, like, can you help me work out? And I would go to the gym with my friends and whatever. And oh my gosh, now my friends are getting results. I was like, wait, I could probably make money doing this. So I end up starting a personal training studio. And at first it was me driving to people's houses with equipment and training them. And then it was, start a gym. And then it was start a meal prep service so that you can start delivering food. You're a nutrition major, like do the thing. I scaled that to, 300 to 400 meals a week we were doing. Then I scaled the training gym. I started to have trainers in my studio. Then I was like, LA is a big city, but it's small relative to the world. How can I impact at a higher level? So then I started to grow an online coaching business. And I did that. And honestly, brother, it was a blessing. I was maybe 21 years old, making multiple six figures. Nobody in my family does it. Lost 125 pounds. So could you imagine how big my fucking head was? I'm sorry for my language, by the way,
Yeah.
but like I was an arrogant, relatively cocky person in that season of life. I also didn't have my faith. That led to in early 2021, me making a really bad decision. And the decision was follow my younger brother. That sounds terrible. I love my
Wait,
younger brother.
I was gonna say, as an older brother,
That's a cliffhanger. That's a
that does.
cliffhanger. So the story was that my younger brother got hired as a salesperson for a real estate wholesale business here in Los Angeles. And within 6, maybe 7 months, he was making more money than me after being in business for as many years as I was. And so I was like, all right, whatever this real estate shit is, like, I gotta go try that because, like, that clearly is working. Completely naive, no sales skills, no marketing skills outside of the fitness industry, and no background or people to refer to. So, what do? You hire all of the coaches, you hire all the trainers and all of the different programs, and you do nothing with it. You actually go into a really aggressive downward spiral. Um, my first year in real estate, I lost over 120 grand liquid. I had to sell my entire crypto portfolio. I had to sell all of my stocks. I proceed to get a bunch of business loans, open a bunch of credit cards. And for some reason, money's not solving my problem. Oh my gosh. Right? Like, what? I thought money solved everything. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm a winner. I win. Dave, that continues to happen. And at one point, I run out of places to drain myself. My family looks at me and they say, dude, you were on such a good path. This isn't why we've sacrificed the way we have to come here. And they say, you need to go. So my younger brother and I, we go into my car and don't know where to go. So we go, why not Arizona? It's a different state. If we're going to be homeless, we might as well be homeless somewhere new. So we go be homeless in Arizona. And so that was my start in real estate, bro. It was making a lot of mistakes, being very naive. Here's a story to tell you how bad it really was. When I was getting into real estate, there was this guru everybody knows about, Grant Cardone. And I was like, well, everybody in real estate is basically Grant Cardone. So when I go to my first real estate event, oh, this is so embarrassing. I tell all of my friends, quit your jobs. I'm going to hire you. You're going to work for me. I buy them all suits. I buy them all $2,000 Louboutins, matching suits, by the way, matching shoes. And we're going to go to this real estate event. I'm going to pay for your guys' flights. I'm going to pay for your guys' VIP tickets. And we're going to go there and we're going to become billionaires like Grant Cardone. Dave, we get to this real estate event, matching suits, matching shoes, the whole thing. And everyone there is like wearing Hawaiian shirts and like cargo shorts. And for me, that was like the first holy fuck moment. I was peacocking so hard and clearly had no clue what I was getting into.
Yeah.
So
A
that's
well-dressed clown show rolled in.
quite literally, dude. Oh my gosh. And so yeah, that was that. And that spiraled into a lot of downstream mistakes and becoming homeless. And slept in my car for 6 or 7 months. Me and my younger brother slept in the trunk of my
Whoa.
car. It wasn't fun.
In Arizona summers, or at least luckily over a winter.
It was somewhere in between. I think we, by the grace of God, got out of that right when it was going to get miserable in Arizona. Okay, like caveat to not make myself too much of a victim. I also had a Tesla still, so like I was sleeping in a Tesla. Like it's not that bad, but but there was some stories there too.
Still ain't that roomy for two.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Slept in the trunk. So yeah, bro, I end up making all of these mistakes. And during that season, I was running a lot of pay-per-click marketing, paying for Google ads, that kind of stuff, right? Trying to solve the problem with more money spent. And I had a specific lead that I was trying to buy in cash. The seller, his name was Alan Lavario, and him and his mom needed to sell an inherited property so that they can help her get into transitional housing. The offer that I was providing them didn't solve a problem. And I had a hammer, and that's all I had, which was, this is the solution that my business provides. And so probably like you, probably like many people in your audience who have been exposed to PACE, we went onto YouTube University and learned about creative finance. For me specifically, it was learning seller finance. I remember watching a YouTube video of PACE explaining it. And then with the YouTube video still up, calling the seller and pitching seller finance, having no clue what the hell I was talking about.
You just put the phone up to the YouTube
that would have
video.
been that would have been so good. So that's what I do. And he says yes. And I'm like, holy shit, now what? So then I start cold DMing everybody in the SubTo community, like, hey, I have this. Can you please help me? Da. The leader of that region at the time ended up saying, sure, send me the deal. He buys the deal from me. And then I take that money along with whatever balances I had left on my credit cards. And I'm like, you know what? This is my last go around. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go back to what I was doing in the past. and I'm a stubborn prick, so I really didn't want to do that. So I end up making my deposit to get into SubTo in late 2022, and by the grace of God, that's where things started to really change for me.
Awesome. So living in your car, you followed your brother. He led you astray. I'm going to put it out there just here on the internet, out in the universe. Your brother led you astray. That's the start of how things turned around. What was kind of the next steps after getting into this community that
Mhm.
we all know and love?
Yeah. So I think it actually starts with my brother didn't lead me astray. I love him, and we have a matching tattoo. It was me being, like I said, arrogant and thinking that, oh, I can do this. I can do anything. Look at what I've done with my life. Hey, guy, relax. And so he ended up quitting his job and working with me. And yeah, obviously we made all of those mistakes. 2022, we joined SubTo, and that was definitely the inflection point. The biggest lesson that I learned getting into this group was that, and it may be corny to say, but it's very real. When you wear all of the hats in the business and you try to learn how to do everything, you end up being mediocre at everything. And that's what I became by doing that. I figured out in the community if I could become a subject matter expert or a master at X skill, I could find the people that need my skill and then collaborate. And so it was a very who, not how mindset that I started to acclimate towards. I also recognized that there was a level of humility that was required that I had lost on my journey as I was, quote unquote, winning within what I understood winning to be at the time. So it was a complete reframe. And joining SubTo, my skill that I focused most on was sales. I think, for your audience, somebody who's maybe still figuring it out, if you could master one of these two skills, you will never go broke in life. You either have to be really, really good at marketing or really, really good at sales. Either of those, and you'll always be okay. You'll always be able to take care of the ones you love and be able to provide for your community. I chose sales. I love sales. I love the nature of psychology. I love learning about people. On your podcast, all I've been doing is talking, but usually I'm the one asking questions. Um, so
That's
that,
true.
that's what I've done. And so I took that path. I really focused on developing my skills and sales and doing all the things. Um, and I started doing deals. And the way that I started doing deals was I had no money to keep paying for marketing. So instead, go collaborate with people who need your support. And so I did some deals that way. And then I figured out, like, hey, I can meet them where they're at and I can train them and I can coach and do all those things. So I started to build a team. Um, and because I've now developed the infrastructure and I created a little bit of a gravitational pull towards me because I could support and serve people, I was able to grow that. And it's compounded in a very, very blessed way since.
Awesome. Where have you gone since joining Sub2, starting to build these teams? What areas have you focused on, and what areas have you really found the most growth in?
Mm. So I started out in the wholesale business. Wholesale is in some ways the lowest hanging fruit in real estate, but it's also the fastest way to learn the language of real estate, learn the model, and also develop a ton of relationships. So for me, it felt like the right vehicle to start with. I couldn't go buy property, like I had no money. And not that you can't buy property without money, but anytime I'm now buying property, I'm making sure that I co-invest. My investors know that like Matt has skin in the game and he really cares. I wasn't in that place, nor did I have the underlying skill set. So I started with the wholesale business. We grew that to about 5 to 7 deals a month. And then as I started to become more vocal in the community, I had an opportunity to teach a course in 23. I taught a course on low equity property acquisitions, how to deal with over-leveraged homes that are listed on the market. That course gave me a little bit more of a brand. And so I continued to take action doing the thing. And during that season of time, paying off my credit card debt, doing the thing, trying to fix my credit, the whole 9 yards. And then fast forward to Squat Up Summit, which is an event that Pace hosts annually. This was his first one. It was in Orlando. There was no way that I was going to go to this event, Dave. I didn't have the money, and I certainly didn't have the time because I needed to keep my head down and do the work. But because my mindset changed from this like transactional make money, make money, make money mindset to this relational mindset when I joined SubTo and when I found God, when I met Jesus Christ, in that season when I figured out that people matter first, not deals, I started to develop relationships with people in the community. And one of them, her name is Monique. Monique is a friend to this day, and she's a W-2 worker, but she's also building a real estate business. And I sold her a deal and we maintained our relationship. And I remember this is maybe a few weeks before Squad Up Summit. She calls me and she's like, "Hey, Matt, um, my W-2 won't let me go to the event. Are you planning on going?" And I was like, "No, no, there's no way I'm going." And she's like,
Mhm.
"Matt, I'm going to give you my ticket. How about that?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Monique, are you serious?" You know, the whole thing. I end up going and I end up taking another leap of faith. I end up joining Owners Club the first year. And that
What was that
created
like?
terrifying in the best way. Um, this community had changed my life at this point. At this point, I already made my closest friends within the group. I have already completely changed as a person. And I knew that this was a necessary choice for me to continue to expand not just my sphere of influence, but my opportunity to collaborate at a higher level and to think differently. And so that's what I did. Joined Owners Club, continued to build the business. And at this point, I was doing owner finance deals on top of the wholesale business. So I would buy these properties now, and then I would repackage the loan and provide that loan to a family who can't qualify for a loan. The deals went from very transactional, "Hey, Dave, here's another rental property for you," to, "Hey, Dave, I'm not going to sell this to you. I'm going to sell this to Kim and John. And Kim and John have been renters for the last 20 years, and now they've become homeowners for the first time in their lives."
Mm,
I love
awesome.
that. The testimonials I've had from those deals have been the reason why I'm so excited to talk about it. And so that continued to compound and continued to grow, you know, building people. I recognize that I'm no longer investing in the business. I need to be investing in the people. And in that, there was a massive multiple. And then fast forward downstream, um, I'm teaching another class for the community right now, networking. I am hosting a weekly meetup. I host a weekly Bible study. I manage some of the channels for the community in Discord. And yeah, I'm very intentional about serving, serve first. And it's been a blessing, bro. I mean, now we're buying multifamily. We're doing our second one this year. It's a really big deal and
Yeah,
terrifying.
I was gonna ask what's the future hold? I know you're making big moves.
Yeah, bro, moving and shaking, having fun in the process. The future is doubling down on the people that I have the opportunity to collaborate with, really build the infrastructure. We have an amazing C-level team at this point that is all smarter than me, and that's my favorite thing ever. It's a bunch of really, really high-level entrepreneurs and individuals. And so working with them, we've cultivated a 5-year vision that allows us to very comfortably believe that we're going to be at 300 million AUM by year 5, and this is year 1 of that. This month, within the next 30 days, we would have closed on, God willing, $29 million acquisition. It's a big deal, bro. It's a Class A property in West Texas, 204 units. We found that my wholesale business found the deal. We raised the money, we found the right partners, and we're keeping it. And so
That's
that's our
awesome.
second multi this year. Yeah.
This is this is the Lubbock property. You're gonna be the king of Lubbock.
Dude, it sounds like it. I didn't know how to spell Lubbock a year ago, but here we are. Yeah, that's the Lubbock deal, and we're right now on multiple LOIs on other assets as well. Raising money is a skill that I've not gotten trained for, but because again, I've developed a knack for empathy. I truly want to understand the other side and care. My ability to raise money has been in alignment with that because when I'm raising money and Dave lets me use his capital, I'm not looking at it as money. I'm looking at it as Dave dedicated time to earn these resources. He's not giving me his money. He's giving me time that he can never get back. And so I take that with the utmost responsibility. And so yeah, we raised $12 million to get this deal done. Wires are coming in now. And yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's something that struck me about you. You know, the few times that we've kind of crossed paths in this last 6, 9 months, something like that, is your authenticity and your genuineness. And, uh, you know, I think in this business, oftentimes there are people that kind of put that vibe out there and can fake it pretty well. But that's what I found with you, is that it's totally genuine. And I appreciate that about you. If people wanted to follow along on your journey, this future stuff, whether it's multifamily or if it's doing anything in the SubTo community, or just, I don't know, follow along on your personal journey,
Yeah.
where should people go?
Well, glory to God first. I appreciate you giving me flowers like that. We do work in an industry where transactions come first, and a lot of people don't make money unless deals close, which means everybody's very much so focused on themselves. And I think that's dangerous. So I appreciate you giving me love there, and God willing, I can continue to live up to that responsibility that I have. Now, your question was, Matt, where can people follow along? Um, my Instagram is something that I'm really focused on continuing to add value to and add value to the community of people that follow me there. So that would be the easiest way. My Instagram is at House Huncho, HOUSEHUNCHO. So if you guys are interested, I've been putting out lots of sales content, raising money content, and obviously opportunities to collaborate as well.
Well, thanks for joining me today, Matt.
Heck yeah, brother.
We'll
Thank you
see
for
you,
having.
we'll see you very soon. Actually, we'll see you in Arizona.
Yeah, man. Like 10 days from now, it's gonna be fun,
Crazy. It's
right?
it's wild that it's already here. All right. Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, brother.